Hello guys, what's up? It's Kron here, and with me is your boy, Jatin. Jatin, how you doing today?
Hey, Kron, I'm doing great. Good to be back for this. I can't believe Nomadium is about to end. It's like it just started a few weeks ago.
I know, it's absolutely insane. I mean, it's literally yesterday it started. I mean, this is probably the shortest tournament we've ever run in our entire lives, right?
Yeah, just imagine we had 4 weeks of delay for one game in Nomadium 1, and Nomadium 2 is going pretty smoothly compared to that.
Exactly right. No, in all seriousness, though, I don't think we would want to change anything about the way it's gone so far. It has been, a slow burn tournament, but I think the slow burn tournaments are the best tournaments because they hype you up. It slowly builds
Mm-hmm.
up to this climax, just like something else in life, and then you get there at the end, and you sit there with this
Oh,
this epic finale, and and we're about to see how it's going to finish. So I can't wait. And just so you know, guys, too, in case you can hear anything in the background, it is morning here in Australia. I normally broadcast at night for a reason, but yeah, you might be able to hear my lovely daughter in the
well,
background.
that's just the excitement of Nomadium 2, isn't it?
She is. Even my daughter's getting excited. I mean, where's Lola as well? I can't hear her barking in the background, but
Oh, Lola is watching the last semifinal. She missed it.
oh, okay. She watched the
Yeah.
semi-finals. Well, in that case, it makes sense. We can see we've already got some guys in the chat, so we've got 14 people already, which is crazy for given this is just an interview. There's no actual games that we're going to show you guys at the moment.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to Jake, Brandon, Senpai,
Brandon
and
again.
Brandon again. Yes, so Brandon gets two shout outs there. So well done. And also, why don't we just quickly should we give a shout out to the loyal donators as well? Because I feel like
Yeah, let's do it. It's because of those people this tournament has some flair. It's why we're not just any other tournament. In fact, because of donations, it keeps us going. We don't want to stop. Sometimes you just lose hope that
yeah.
nobody's watching this tournament. Let's just stop.
Yeah, I mean, there's no greater gauge than like actually people digging into their own hard-earned pocket. They were sitting there thinking, I could get a massive hamburger with this money. No, I'm
Hmm.
going to go and donate it online to these players who I've never met in person because I'm getting so much enjoyment from watching these games. So,
Yeah. Or I could get a hamburger out of this, but I'm gonna make a bet with Boo and lose.
look, I might
Like
just
how I lose my bets with Boo every time.
yeah. On that note, I might just like let's just cut this off now. I think yeah. Anyway, no, look, we'll keep the show going, but a little bit embarrassed about my betting with Boo. But okay, and look, this makes it even worse when I go through the rap sheet here. But okay, let's do it. Shout out to all the donators. So who have we got? We've got from the bottom upwards. We've got Oscar, Boss Clan, Anonymous, Latino Matter. We've got Ian Graham, aka Sermon, Jake, Chicken Family, Anonymous, Marvelous. Thank you all, guys. David Kiss, very generous, $40. Thank you, Dave. Jatin Sharma. Thank you, Jatin. Whoever you are out there.
Yeah, some big-hearted person.
Big hearted person. We've got TNO, $50. That's so generous, guys. So
Hmm.
generous, TNO. We've got Rochi for $50 as well. Thank you. Lieber for 10. Moving Pictures 25. Draz for 10. Prolays for 58. At the moment, I think Prolays is winning this battle. He's $3 more than
Yeah,
Jake. So
he
bit
is
of
three more,
a bit
and
of
unless we count Boo's donations and his surrogates.
So we've got Street Fighter 2 Turbo for $40. Just in case anyone's curious, I do have confirmation that is Boo. That is Boo.
Okay.
Donating under a fake account. And I don't know, I think one of these other ones might be him as well, but I'm not confirmed on that. But that one's definitely Boo. Boo was right. Okay, that was kind of Boo in a roundabout way. Lat family was $50. Thank you, Lat guys. We love you guys. You always support Nomadium, and I think it's a good kind of not what's the word? Not really partnership, but good working relationship we have with the Lat
Hmm.
guys. You could say let's say partnership. AS Sauron $20. We've got Boo was right again, another $20. And finally we've got Isn't Boo always right? Go EL $20. That one did not age well though.
I have a feeling Boo is just making up these bets, and actually he didn't win any. And
Part of me thinks that too, but anyway, that's Boo's enthusiasm, and I feel like we're still kind of all in shock at the moment. I mean, we haven't really debriefed, but Jatin, what were your thoughts? I know you were casting the game, but what were your thoughts when you were watching that crazy semi-final between PLA and EL, and what happened? I mean, the unthinkable happened.
That
EL
was
were defeated
unthinkable.
in a best of seven. A best of
Yep.
seven. Is what universe are we living in today? Is this COVID's fault? What's going on? How did?
I have never seen EL lose any best of series, and this happens in the semi-final of Nomadium 2. They get knocked out at 2-4, not even 3-4, 2-4. So this was a shock to everybody, and I hope EL will be able to come back stronger in the next tournament. But now it looks like PLA has dethroned the previous Nomadium champions, and they're going for the final cup.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I must admit, I was on the edge of my couch. I was watching it on my couch actually, and when I was watching those games back, I was just like, "What is happening here? Oh my god! What PLA won again? What was that a third game?" And then it just kept going and going, and then you could see that EL brought it back on Aussie Outback, but that Great Lakes game was one for the ages. So definitely, it's funny in hindsight. You think, like, were we wrong? Was PLA really not the underdog here? Were they just the best team?
The funny thing is PLA Art of War. I wonder, were they? Yeah, they were not even in the top 4 seeds.
I mean, that's the thing. We went back, and for those that don't remember, it was a bit of a strange seeding system we had. But what we did was we put a top 3 seeds and then a 4th, 5th, and 6th seed. And the top 3 was it was Tough, EL, and PN5. Obviously, if PN5 hadn't met Tough Alpha in the quarters, they would be in the grand finals themselves. So we'll go with that. But I mean, PLA were very close to being in the top 3 or top 4. But at the time, and obviously in hindsight, everything's in benefit in hindsight. We had PLA, we had AZ Dragons, and we had EL Fusion. Lat Fusion. Not EL Fusion, Lat Fusion. And we just couldn't really split those 3 teams because we thought, they're all really strong teams, but like you're kind of splitting hairs when you get to that point. So we just randomized it and said one of them will get 4th, one of them will get 5th, one of them will get 6th. And yeah, that's kind of how it's worked out. And if you look at the bracket, we had PLA, EL, Tough Alpha, and Dragons in the top 4, just based on the way the brackets work. So overall, I'd say the seeding worked pretty well, but yeah, I still feel a bit bad for PLA because, obviously we're about to get into these interviews with PLA in a moment. But one of the things I said to Linckey actually before our interview started was something about, what did you think of the tournament setup? And Linckey actually said, well, actually, I was a little bit surprised that you guys didn't seed us as one of the top teams. And I was like, oh, well, Linckey, don't take it personally. Like, we just didn't really know you well. Like, we know Linckey's good, but we didn't really know that, how's this PLA team going to go when they don't have Mouse anymore and they don't have TNO, because that was the big news story. And speaking of which, I just wanted to quickly take a trip down memory lane for a moment for anyone who's been a long-term Nomadium supporter. Let's up on the screen right now. So we've got the Nomadium 1 bracket. So you can see this was, centuries ago, 23rd of February 2019, when we were just young kids back then, fresh out of the womb. And a lot's changed in the world since those good old days. But you can see in this tournament, so it was a 16 bracket single elimination. But the ultimate match here, sorry if this is spoiling the tournament, by the way, but if you haven't seen Nomadium 1 by now, go back and watch all the VODs. Awesome tournament. It's where it all started. You can see in the semi-final between Four Valley and PLA, that was, for me, the match of the tournament. It was really close. And for those who don't remember, basically there were 2 games on Aussie Outback. PLA raced away to a 2-0 lead in some really close, epic matches. And then, and the lineup was, actually let's bring up the lineup on the screen. Oh, I'm getting an error message, 1 second. Okay, hang on. So the players were, we didn't have rules on caps on rosters back then. So we had PLA had Martinet, Mouse, Timeless, Angelo, TNO, Linckey, Monkey, Penguin, and TNT.
And wait, Monkey, Penguin, and Martin had never played any games.
I'm like, wow, good thing we changed those rules.
Yeah.
Because that would be a mouthful trying to read out all those names every single time. But no, the lineup for those games, though, from memory was TNO, Mouse, Timeless, and TNT. But the big omission was Linckey. And that was a big storyline at the time because we all knew Linckey was, like, Linckey's got even better since then, but Linckey was still an awesome player. And Linckey had featured earlier in that tournament. And it got to the semi-final against Fort Valley, which is their biggest match, and Linckey was missing. And then, long story short, PLA loses to Fort Valley in probably the craziest series ever. Fort Valley brings it back 3-2. And then we get to King of Sahara, and we notice that Linckey joins forces with Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
And on Discord, you can see that Mouse is saying a few things like, not sure if they're insulting or not, but he's saying, Linckey is Red Bull's wife, was one of the allegations that were made. Again, not sure. Sometimes you can say that, it's lost in translation or something of that nature, but, you could kind of see a bit of simmering tensions there. And then later on, obviously not, I don't know how many months later, but we saw that Mouse left PLA and basically formed Tough, and that is where we are today. So that team which lost against Fort Valley that day, TNO and Mouse both left, and they're now part of Tough. While all the players that were on there before, such as Timeless, TNT, and Linckey, stayed on and played together. So that's just to kind of set up a bit of this context here, because it's pretty rare to get drama in Rise of Nations. I mean, look, we have our fair share of drama, I'll be fair, every now and again. But I mean, this is next level. So, I can just see I'll just set this up now as well. Okay, so I think, are you right if we jump straight into this first interview with Linckey here? So,
let's do it.
All right, perfect. So the way we're going to do this, guys, is just so you know, obviously, the three players that we'll be interviewing today, they're all Chinese and they're all based in China as well. So
wait, is Linckey there? Because I have noticed Linckey talks in English a lot, even with his PLA team. Was that a question? I don't think that was a question, right? We should have asked him.
Yeah, actually.
Why does he not chat in Chinese?
Well, I think I did ask Linckey, and basically, Linckey was answering me in English, and Linckey's English was great, but it's quite obvious. It's not like Linckey grew up in an English-speaking environment, so there was only some like minor grammatical mistakes. But I think Linckey could easily talk in English, and I noticed that as well because you could see Timeless would communicate in English as well. So anyway.
I know that Timeless is actually based in I think he's based in the United States. But or maybe it could be a Timeless. Maybe Timeless doesn't feel comfortable talking in Chinese. That's why these guys all talk in English during their chats. Because when I was casting their games, I noticed all the chats were in English, which is very off.
Yeah, it is. It is strange. I mean, but anyway, the one thing, spoiler alert though, all will be revealed in these interviews. Everything, every last detail. I can hear the people out there right now are saying, what's going on with this? You're talking about Timeless being in the USA, but I thought he was from China. What's this? What's the go with Linckey? I want to know the answers. All right, so guys, so just so you know, ideally we love to do these interviews over video, so like a face-to-face video interview. In this instance, with Linckey and with Timeless, we weren't able to do that, and generally speaking, I would never really expect to be able to do that unless they wanted to. Because it's just difficult with VPNs, and also, let's be honest, the guys from PLA are probably not necessarily confident in just getting on an interview on video and talking their best. So, because I certainly wouldn't be that way if I was speaking Chinese, I can guarantee you that. So
a lot of people do not feel comfortable on becoming on video or audio. Boo, I'm talking to you.
Yeah. Where's Boo? We're still waiting. I mean, we've been calling you, and you've been haven't been answering our calls for months now. But anyway, so that's a very good point. We will get Boo on here one day, I'm sure. We will have to bribe him somehow. But
Yeah, we'll have to make a bet somehow, win a bet against him.
we'll ease into it. We'll just go audio only at first. We just want to hear that Irish accent, man. That's all we want to hear. That's all we want to hear. So Linckey's interview will be on text only. But the good news is, I still think text interviews are great because it gives them plenty of time to construct good answers. And the way we're going to do this is, Jatin, do you mind playing Linckey today?
Yes, I'm Linky today.
Perfect. You look exactly like Linckey, I'm sure. And we're going to, hopefully, you don't have to speak in Chinese, so that's the good news. And so
That's great. I was going to, but now I'll just hold back on that.
So we just need you to do your best Chinese David Attenborough impression, okay? So if you can, I don't know if you've heard of David Attenborough before, but he's like a...
Nope, never.
He's like the most famous BBC, like British Broadcasting, like documentary maker. So he's like... And the cat is in its natural habitat now. And
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So you don't have to speak in a British accent either. But just to set it up, guys, Jatin will be playing Linckey, and I will be playing the Nomadium 2 interviewing team, anonymous interviewing team. So, okay, let's bring it up on the screen right now. And guys, for everyone who's watching this, you can obviously read along on the screen as well. But don't jump ahead from what Jatin says. You don't want to be spoiled. It's going to slowly scroll as we go. All right, so let's start this out. And guys, feel free to comment as we go as well. We're very keen to hear from everyone in the audience too, to get your thoughts and reactions as we go, because I will just give you a hint right now. It doesn't say controversy in the title for no reason. As we get further and further through these interviews, you're going to see some explosive allegations. And plenty of things to talk about, okay? But we'll start out with the easy one. So Linckey, interview with Linckey. Okay, so let's go. So Linckey, how did you first play Rise of Nations?
When I started to play the game, a guide made by old PLA members was shared on the internet. I read that, and thanks to that guide and some nice games with Red Bull, I was able to improve a lot. I joined PLA because the team name attracted me a lot. It has some special meaning for me being Chinese, so I joined. And Red Bull, just making sure, Red Bull has been there since eternity.
Yeah, I mean,
he's one of the oldest player we got.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he left, but he's kind of, we won't call him out or anything, but we think he might be back under a different...
He has taken another form.
he has reached his final form, so so Red Bull is still around. He's like perfect cell. We'll have to get some Dragon Ball Z references in here somehow. So, okay, so Linckey, what do you think of the tournament so far?
The tournament is nice for sure. It did bring nice games and happiness for both players and fans here in China. Win or lose, it will be a good influence on the world. I didn't know there are Chinese players watching us, even though I know YouTube is not available everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's there. I did actually ask that, I think, and from memory, most people can't watch YouTube, but those that have a VPN, they can. So Linckey, what is your favorite map?
I think all maps are not bad. Each map has its unique features.
And what's your favorite nation?
I love Greeks. They are the most magical nation. My love for them started after Red Bull made a play with Greeks, and it was nice. French are also one of my favorites. In case you can't tell, I love nations who have cool and powerful heavy horses. They look so good. Also Chinese for sure. No need to explain this. I completely agree with Linky's first part. Not about the Chinese bit, but yeah, I also like Greeks and French.
Just those heavy cavalry. I think I feel like he's talking about standard there too, because they're so much better in standard. I think. They're great nations either way, but yeah, those heavy cav raids. What's next? Who are your favorite players in Bron?
When a player takes you under their wing when you are a noob and is happy to play with you even if it's not much fun for them, it makes me respect them a lot. So here I can give players like Red Bull and Vendrian my highest respect. Vendrian has been called here, so that's very nice.
Yeah.
And organizers and observers for games too, to make players come together for happiness is what I love to. Like Kron, Jatin, Dave, Proles, and some others also, and my team too, for sure. I love them.
Wow, thank you, Linky. That's very nice of you to say that. What do you predict will be the result for the grand final?
Hold on, yeah. It's hard for me to predict for sure. Tough or good? Very calculated answer. Nice
Yeah.
one, Linky.
Very polite. So far, this is all going as we expected. you know,
Hmm.
very nice Chinese players. Linky, it's hard. Oh, sorry. What do you plan to do with some of your prize money?
I plan to donate it to the next tournament's prize pool. Thank you for your work.
Wow,
I already like Linky.
this is going very well, Linky. Keep it up. Some people have called you the Lionel Messi or the Yao Ming of Ron. What do you think of this? And which person do you think is more like you, Lionel Messi or Yao Ming?
I think it's a bit over the top to compare me with such great sports stars like Messi or Yao Ming. They're admired, are famous, outstanding in their field. Anyway, thanks to them, and if they like me, I'm glad to share happiness with them if I can really do that. What I want to mention is football and basketball are also team games. You can't forget your team who supports you. Like if Messi is not a part of FC Barcelona, he can't prove himself too, I think.
Wow, that's a pretty nice answer there. So far, I think Linky could perhaps be a politician, based on
He could be. What if he is? What if he's the right hand man of Xi Jinping?
maybe we'll have to sneak in a question to Mouse
Yeah.
later on about that. A lot of people say you are the best raider in the game. Do you have any advice to new players on how to raid well?
Aggressively raiding is not easy actually. Playing defensively is usually easier than playing aggressive. Except for speed of playing, where you can improve fast, I think it is a timing of when you are going to raid. Is it a single unit or a couple? Maybe try to scout your opponent more and often find a weak point to target. Defending raids are the same. Archers, light horses, and spies are good. Always defend the highest priority. For example, if you have a Nubian ally and you have diamonds in your territory, you should care as much as you can because they might be able to carry the game later with it. If you build a mine with Inca, you should build a city or tower near it to fast to protect it.
Yep. Wow. I'm just taking notes here as well, by the way, given
Same.
yeah, standard season's coming up, and I definitely have been accused of being a Linky fanboy on more than one occasion. It's all false lies and slander, of course.
It's all real.
It's all real. No shame in saying that. When you play for PLA, do you feel you're representing your country as well as your clan, or just your clan?
PLA has a special meaning for me. It's not believable if I say I don't care at all. It's hard to share my feelings in words, but as human being yourself, while when you are aiming for a higher goal, it will give you power to perform better and to make you think about your whole team. No matter if we win or lose, as an old Chinese said, winning gives double the happiness and a loss will have half the sadness if you share it with your team. That is the point of team play, I think.
Wow, that's like Zen like as far as we need to get Linky to record and
We
us.
need to get Linky to record. He's our the next Zen Mechanics, the new talent for Nomadium 3 promo.
This is going to be amazing. All right, already thinking ahead here. You are known to also play other games such as CS, Osu, Dota 2. What is your favorite and which game are you the most pro at?
I love every game I play because they bring me happiness. Otherwise, I won't play them. Honestly, I think I'm not too much of a pro gamer. If I really need to answer this question here, maybe I will answer it with Ron. Ooh, could not be more dodgy. Very well played like a true politician.
Yep, very well done, Linky. That was perfectly answered. And so far, you've reached governorship and next level senator. Um,
Yeah.
there seems to be some disagreement between the old PLA in Nomadium 1, which resulted in Mouse joining Tough. What happened?
Something happened and it's hard to explain because it's not a short story. Mouse is a strong player and Mouse joining Tough is not a bad idea. Everybody wants victories and happiness. Tough is a good team for sure.
There you go. And thank you, Linky, for your time today. and good luck in the finals.
Thank you, and good luck to all.
Yep, perfect. Well, you did a great Linckey there, Jatin, so thank you very much.
That's the best Linckey I could do.
And so that's some really good insights there from Linckey, and you can kind of tell that Linckey is, as you know, we're joking about it, but obviously Linckey's seems to be a very kind and respectful player, not one to cause waves.
Talk shit about others.
How do I say this? Guys, but just so you know, if you read that interview, if you listened to it and you thought, hang on a second, you're like, that was a good interview, but I want some drama. I want some tabloid stuff right now.
Where's the juice? Juice.
Don't go anywhere.
We want the juice.
Don't go anywhere. Just hold the line, all right? Hold the line. Hold the door, like they say in Game of Thrones. Because you will be. Don't worry, it'll all come. But okay, so that was our first interview. We're gonna have 3 interviews here. Don't know if you can hear anything in the background. The next interview
That's excitement, Ron. That's excitement that you hear.
That was excitement. My daughter is like, give us TimeLess. Give us TimeLess. Give us TimeLess. All right. I know the people want TimeLess's interview, but before we do TimeLess, we're going to basically we're going to do the interview with Mouse, okay? And and guys, the interview with Mouse has stepped up to the plate. He's done what no Chinese former PLA player has done before, and that's he's come on Skype and given us an interview over Skype, which was amazing. And hats off to Mouse for having the bravery to do that too, because Mouse is, he's born and bred in China, so his English is good. It's really good for someone from China. So I really appreciate him doing that. And we're going to split it into 2 parts here. So the first part is going to be Mouse's interview. So without further ado, I'm going to swap it across. Enjoy this first half of the interview with Mouse. Joining me is a very special guest in this pre-match interview before we get into the grand final series for Nomadium 2. I'm joined by Tough Mouse on Skype, so I'm very thankful to have Mouse on the line. It's not that common for us to have the best Chinese players because it can be difficult for them to get online. So Mouse, can you please say hello to everyone, introduce yourself, what do you do for a living as well?
From now, I'm a student in university, and I'm reading economic, political economic in a Chinese university. So I'm still a student, and so I have a lot of time to play this game.
And how did you first learn about Rise of Nations? Like, when did you first start playing?
I first started play. Let me think. Maybe in the year of 2009, I was 14 years old, and I played with lots of PLA members in local Chinese night. And then I went to GameSpy, and now I play on Steam.
When you first joined PLA, did you mostly just play on the Chinese server, or did you also play on Steam sometimes?
From now I play most of online service instead of Chinese local players. I think they are nobles, so I don't play with them.
The noobs on the Chinese server?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's even 100 players in Chinese local night. And they play with Tufts AI every day, I think.
At the last Nomadium tournament, obviously you were part of PLA team, and I know there was that really classic match where you played against Forvali, and the score was 3-2. What effect did that series have on what happened with PLA? Like, did that match kind of cause any reason for you to leave PLA and join or create Tough?
I would like to say we have an argument before the match against Forvali, and Linckey and Wu Jian, they have one argument, and Linckey said to me he won't play at the series we against Forvali, and I was angry about him.
Okay.
Then And we think we are a better team than for Valley, but we lose. We lose from 2-0, and especially in game 4, Wu Zhen and Tiano, they did nothing, and I was angry. And in King of Sahara, I want to team with Linckey, but he refused, and he said to me he want a teammate who is very friendly to with him. So he team with Red Bull, and most of PLA players, they don't play on Steam. They just play at a Chinese local game. So I think I would better leave PLA.
Okay, so Mouse, when you were watching the semi-finals during Nomadium 2, and you were seeing the games of PLA, which is your former team, versus EL, there was a massive upset. 4-2 was the scoreline, and some excellent play there by PLA. I was just wondering, what were your thoughts and emotions that were going through your head?
I was shocked because I think EL is a very good team, very strong team. And when we played with PN5, we said to them, whoever wins this game, he should beat EL in the grand final. So I think EL is very one of the greatest, maybe EL is one of the greatest teams in Rest of Nations. And, David plays very good, and Wu did it too. And we think we are supposed to play against EL, but PLA did a very good job. And I don't feel happy after EL lose these games. And I think grand final should be tough as EL, and it will be a very exciting games.
And so was part of it, you were almost a little bit disappointed that PLA won because you feel like that took away this very hyped up grand final versus EL?
Yes.
Was part of you, though, when PLA succeeded, as, I guess, a proud Chinese citizen, were you proud of PLA that they managed to upset EL?
Wolf told me he is very happy about the result, and he thinks the final will be Chinese vs Chinese. But I told him we have a lot of foreigners.
What? Who was that? Sorry, who was happy?
Wolf.
Oh, Wolf. Oh,
PLA Wolf.
PLA Wolf. Yep.
Yes.
Sure. Could you please tell us a bit about how Tough was created, who thought of the name, and I guess that process which members joined first?
I told Code Fair I want to set up a new team to defeat the EL. The first 2 members are me and Code Fair, Dark Reader, but he left. Third, Tiano and Flamis, they joined us. So we make up a team. This team is set up to defeat EL. We are set to Code Fair, but we have no chance to do that.
So now you have to defeat the team who defeated EL. Does that still feel?
Yes.
Does it still feel the same? Like, do you feel more confident because you're not playing EL anymore?
Yes.
When you played in the quarterfinals against PN5, there was a lot of hype. A lot of people thought that PN5, it would be a close game. It might be a close match. Were you scared coming into that game, or did you always feel confident?
I think PN5 is a very good team, but they are unlucky at those games because we get first 3 maps are watering map, and we have lots of boomers in our team. And they did very good in these maps. And that's why we win 3-2. I think PN5 is a very good team. If they face PLA or EL, I think they can did very good. So I feel sad for PN5.
When you went into the next game, you were up against the semi-finals, AZ Dragons there. Can you just tell us a bit about, you won the first game and then lost the next 2 games. What was your emotions after those 2 losses? Were you worried that you might lose the series?
We did very. I would say I did very bad in game 2. I was romance and I go clue. it doesn't a very good, very rare. It doesn't a very good choice for me.
Oh, Colossus.
I think I would rush.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I would rush with Flamis. And the game 3 is not very good game for us too, because they have Lakota on Sahara. This map is very suitable for Lakota, and we are behind after 3 games. But we are lucky we get watering maps in the next 3 games. So we did very good, and I think our advantage is watering map. We have a lot of bombers, and after first three games, we I don't think we are disappointed. I think we are confident.
And so, who is in charge of the strategizing and deciding which players play with which nation?
I think it's me and the Codefair. We decide which nations we pick and which member we play in the game in game.
Okay, and so looking at the map pool for the grand final, I'm not sure if you've looked at it, but the first 4 maps are all land maps. So you've got Sahara, Mesa, Amazon, and then Old World, followed by 2 water maps, Great Lakes, Aussie, Outback, and then final map is Himalayas. Given that there's so much emphasis on land maps, which you've mentioned that you're tough are very good at the booming water maps, does that give you any cause for concern, or do you still feel really good about your play on those land maps, which you may have lost some games on before?
I think it's the game decided by rules. If PLA has a better rule, we would lose. But it also depends on our nation pick. I think we have a good plan, and we practice a lot. I think it's a 50-50 in first 4 games, and game 5 and game 6 are watering map, and I think we can do very good in these 2 maps.
On so Lakes and Aussie Outback, you feel really confident about your chances?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we can finish game in 6 games, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So I guess at least no matter how the games go, you'll have some potentially strong maps for tough in the 5th and 6th map. So that might play to your advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I guess I have another question. Why are Chinese Rise of Nations players so good compared to most other nations and countries?
I think because we have lots of people.
Population, yeah, you have the numbers advantage. The law of averages is in your favor, I guess. So, okay, perfect. And so I'll just do some quick fire questions. What's your favorite wonder? Pyramids, Colossus, or Hanging Gardens?
I think it's closest because it can give you a good advantage. I think it is the biggest advantage of Colossus.
So who do you think is the number 1 Rise of Nations player in the world outside of Tough?
I think it's David.
Dave?
Yes.
What do you think about Nomadium 2 compared to Nomadium 1 so far?
Nomadium 1, we don't select nations. Nomadium 1 is we go random in every game. I think Nomadium 2, we pick nations in every game. It is very good because if there is if you go random nation, you don't know what happened. If you pick nation, you can have a plan, and you can give your best show, I think. So I think nomadic tour is better.
And what's your favorite nation?
I think it's Lakota.
Do you have a routine before you play your matches? Do you like to relax, read a book, get a massage, go to the gym, anything like that?
I don't need it. I know about TNT Timeless and Linckey very much. So I think it will be not a very difficult game for me.
Right.
So, I think I played 1,000 games with TNT at Chinese local night.
Right. So you feel like
yes.
Because you've played so much with them that you know what to expect?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. And so okay, guys, there you have it. That was the interview with Mouse, and Jatin was just watching that as well. But we do have. He just has to put Lola outside, so he'll be back in 1 second. I just saw in the chat. I can see what's up, TNO, Drads, Tian, aka Language of Trees, Duzzles. Hello, guys. Welcome. Tanner Gillis. So Jatin, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, what was your hot take on our first interview with Mouse? That was Mouse talking, by the way.
That was the first time I heard Mouse. Some disrespectful conversation so far. Not a lot of pride and anything. It's good.
Did you say some disrespectful or
nothing disrespectful so far?
Yeah, true.
The Language of Trees says he speaks English better than his Chinese.
Wow. Well, it might just be, is it lost in translation or is his Chinese really quite out there?
It could be Language of Trees doesn't speak good enough Chinese. Introspect, LOT.
Yeah, exactly. It could
you've been living in the States for too long. Your Chinese is very likely rusty now.
Polluted. You can see that. Oh, you can see we just had El Boo in the house, so hello Boo. Just in time to come on for an interview. Yourself.
Yeah, just in time.
Drads has said soapy massage before the game is my suggestion. Well, I just said the word massage. I didn't say soapy massage, and I didn't say.
So, yeah, that was all Drads. He added it.
I think you just put in your own kind of thoughts and wishes in there, and just hoped we'd go along with it, but. Anyway, no. So anyway, I thought that was quite a nice interview with Mouse too. Good to hear from him. Obviously the man behind the video, and I can see that TNO's in the chat too. TNO just said, "Don't fall for Cron's baits, Mouse." I must admit, this is the most I've ever felt like one of those current affair reporters where you're sitting there with a microphone, kind of interviewing someone for like a gotcha moment. That's certainly not the case. I'm not trying to ambush anyone, but.
Nobody yet.
Yeah, I didn't go to journalism school. I'm kind of just running with this on the fly. So anyway, but no, Mouse was a really good sport. And so, guys, we're going to jump straight into the next interview. And I'm glad that we've got even more people online right now than we were before, because this is the look. We're done with interviews with nice flowery words.
Nice, flowery words are gone.
Sportsmanship, all those nice things. Because we are about to bring you, and look, we love sportsmanship, but at the end of the day, if we ask players a question and they give us an answer, they give us an answer. We have to give that answer to the people. So we have next we've interviewed TimeLess here. Okay.
Yeah. So when I go out of my city on the highway, the first advertisements that I see on the highway are for the pet shops where you can buy the pets. This is what we just now did, the pet shops. When you go a little bit away from the city, you see advertisements for strip clubs all the way on the highways. And this is where we are entering right now.
We are entering that territory, that industrial precinct, where like Dexter goes and like hides his bodies after his...
Yeah.
For anyone who's watched Dexter. guys, we're about to enter uncharted territory here, okay? So that's just a warning to anyone out there watching right now. Yeah, look, continue at your own discretion. You know you want to keep watching anyway, so let's be real with yourself. But anyway, we're going to continue on this interview with Timeless. Just a little bit of a different direction for Timeless's interview compared to the one with Linckey. So we'll do the same strategy. I'll read the questions and you can do your best. You read the answers on behalf of Timeless, who answered these questions via text. So, and guys, as we go through the interview, please feel free to give us your takes in the chat. And yeah, we'll read them out as we go, because it's always fun to get some responses as we go. All right, so without further ado, interview with Timeless. Hi, Timeless. Congratulations on your semi-final victory, and thanks for agreeing to the interview.
Thank you, and you're welcome. To start out, how did you come up with your... Oh, wait, that's you.
Oh, yeah, that's my question. To start, I didn't put N2 in front of it. To start out, how did you come up with your nickname Timeless? And is there any reason you sometimes play under Timeless and other times under Woojin?
Many players got the rumor from Mouse that Timeless is Woojin. I have no idea why he spread those rumors. I need to make a clarification here. Firstly, I'm not Woojin, and indeed, Woojin is my master. I started playing Ron 4 years ago, and Woojin taught me a lot about this game. Woojin is a freelancer. He doesn't like competition, so he doesn't want to join any clan. Mouse has resentment towards us because he was not only expelled by PLA clan, but also was banned from using Chinese private server. The only place he can play Ron is on Steam, but he deserves this because he has mental and personality disorder issue. Poor him, but the pathetic man certainly have something to be despised. I hope Mouse knows about this stuff, right? Did we?
Man, this is like, yeah. When I first read this response from Timeless, my jaw kind of dropped. But at the same time, it's like a car crash. Like, you can't look away. You're like, whoa! I wasn't expecting to get that reply. We can see in the chat, Drad says chicks fight. TNA, I'm not sure what he's laughing, but he said 931. Dexter was good, but if you just forget you ever seen the ending. Yeah, I didn't watch season 8, just in case you're wondering, boo. Finished at season 7. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so start with... yep.
So I can make 2 examples here. First example is that after playing Ron in Steam, he felt that he was superior to other Chinese players just because he can play with foreigners. In his view, even foreigners' fart is fragrant. Then he became very arrogant day by day. He was very humble, open-minded, and easygoing. Nobody has any clue why he became like this. Suddenly he felt that he was the best in the world, and he started blaming his teammate once he lost the game every time. And he boasts that he just defeated Dave today, or kicked Boo several times last night, or Sergio is just a small potato, or Steve is easy, etc. Come on, 95% Chinese players don't even know these names because they don't play on Steam at all. But he keeps boasting in QQ group tirelessly, even without response. QQ group is very similar to WhatsApp. By joining the group, everybody can express their opinions in real time. In the end, he finally caused public outrage and was kicked out of the group.
Buzz is in the chat. Hello, Buzz. All right, let's keep going. So we've got next question. During the semifinals, this is a more serious question. You played elephant.
How do you bring yourself to ask that question after all that happened? Like, what the hell? Elephants. Tell me about elephants.
You really see, I was like, yeah, you know, obviously.
Yeah, nothing happened. Everything's cool. Everything's cool.
Look, sometimes the perfect segue is to talk about elephants, all right? When you've just been dropped, like a nuclear bomb has gone off.
Yeah.
You're like, don't talk about the farts. Don't talk about the personality disorder freak accusations. So during the semifinals, you played Elephant Nations twice, but you did not seem to build many elephants, if any at all.
That's the only thing I care about right now. Tell me about elephants.
Don't worry, we circle back. Is there any reason for this? So try and put on your best straight face.
Hold on a second. Okay, I am.
Deep breath.
I have completely adjusted myself to that smooth segue, and now I'm ready to read this one. When I was Indian, I don't have too much gold and food for elephants. When I was Persia, the elephant is too expensive for the nation before gunpowder age, and it is only good for making elephants after upgrading to monarch.
Interesting. That's a very good Rise of Nations advice right there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Chinese RON players are very strong. Are PLA 1 players the best? Or are there, and that's out of war, or are there more stronger players who only play on the Chinese servers?
There are many players has the same level or even better than PLA 1 players in China, such as TNT. He barely plays on Steam. Most of his playing time is on Chinese private server because the Chinese network is not compatible with the Steam network. This is non-related with internet speed, but because of conflicts, it will extremely lag if you don't use VPN to play on Steam. But having a VPN costs money, and most Chinese players don't speak English very well, so most of them choose to play on private server. The server is very similar to Hamachi or Tungle. They are playing GameSpy version on the private server, which is free and without any lag and no communication problem. There are many real serious players who are much better than me playing on private server every day. Oh.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if there's like this army of PLA teams that they could form on a moment's notice, just like click their fingers and they'll dominate all the tournaments.
Yeah. Maybe we should start making a Rise of Patience account on the Chinese YouTube, whatever that is, and upload our videos there.
Actually, that's a good idea. I thought you were going to say maybe we should start playing on the Chinese server. And
or that.
Because that's actually what they used to do in StarCraft 2. All the foreigners, like non-South Koreans, would play on the Korean server because they thought that that's the best. That's like the ultimate training ground. That's like your hyperbolic time chamber, so to speak.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's actually that will be a good stream someday. We could just go to the Chinese, like use Chinese VPN.
Yeah.
Let me see if my VPN has China.
We'll sneak back in the other way around. Try and get through the Great Firewall.
I'll just copy some symbols in Chinese that I can just paste over and over again, so people think I belong to the herd.
Yeah. We can see. Do you have? Okay. So next question. Do you have any rivalries with any other players in the scene?
Sorry. Hold on.
Sorry.
Yep. I play this for fun only. I'm not that kind of competitive person. As long as I'm entertained, it doesn't matter I win or lose. I play 3v5 toughest AI with Chinese players a lot in the private server. We compete about the units killed. The one who gets the most units killed won the game.
Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. Like they're all practicing versus AI a lot of the time, and still, like I can't imagine that would be a bad way to do it. What do you do in your normal life outside of Ron?
I work for life every day. Ron is my only entertainment in my leisure time. Wujin lives in USA and I live in China. It's very strange that he suddenly brought where Wujin lives in this conversation. That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Yeah, that does kind of sound like. It's like, is there something weighing on your mind? Like, we weren't even talking about Wujin. Anyway, okay, get it together. What was the next one? So what preparation will you have before playing the grand final versus Tough?
Okay. Hold on a second. Where are we? Yeah. To be honest, me and most of the other Chinese players, we play this game for fun only, not for competition at all. Believe it or not, myself and other PLA members haven't prepared anything for the tournament. We just play Ron as usual. I normally play 3v5 toughest AI every weekend with Chinese players in most of my leisure time. And TNT is studying his engineering major and has little time to play, even in the private server. Oh.
Okay. Do you reckon is some of this maybe gameplay, or do you think they're turning up to play the tournaments as they go? Because I wonder if this is they're trying to throw a message out to Tough, like we're not really practicing, underestimate us type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
Could be.
Worked versus DL, right? So
very sneaky if that is the case.
So TimeLess, when did you start playing Ron, and how did you first come across it?
Hold on. I just keep losing my place. Yeah, I played Ron since 2015. I found this game on Baidu, a Chinese forum, which has a lot of Ron fans discussing the game there.
And what is the history of how PLA was formed?
The PLA is the abbreviation of Chinese People's Liberation Army. The Chinese players who love their country would love to use the PLA as their clan name, not just only in Ron, but also in other games.
And how were you recruited to PLA?
I'm actually not recruited. PLA doesn't have a recruiting process. Anybody can join the clan as long as they can do any damage to the reputation and honor of the clan. I used to only play Ron on the Chinese private server, and one day Angelo asked me to play for PLA. He provided me with a VPN account, so here I am.
And what do you think of Nomadium 2 so far?
So far, so good. Thanks to the organizers and participators that they make the game rise again.
What's your favorite map?
Some players hate Watering Hole and Mesa, but any map is same for me.
And who are your favorite players?
It's very hard to answer this question because when I play this game, there are no players' names in my eyes, but only the colors. I can only tell which color a job and which color held his team back. I never pay attention to who my teammate is or who my opponent is when the game is over. I can't even remember which nation my teammate or my opponent is.
And what do you predict will be the final score of the grand final?
I can't make any assumption. Any team that can reach the final has their true capability, not because of luck or coincidence. I don't want to be so and so, some abandoned PLA member whose nickname starts with M. Okay, who will make his ignorant prediction that PLA will be defeated 0-3 by his team or 0-4 by that team. It turns out his own face was slapped harder and louder again and again and again. When there is definitely some beef between M and TimeLess.
There is seriously some roast beef there between the two. We're starting to see it coming out again and again. I don't think we're over with Mouse, but we'll keep going through the interview. How will you spend your prize money if you win?
I don't know yet. I will let you know when we win the final. Very, very diplomatic answer. I like it.
Very diplomatic.
You don't want to make big assertions and later on buy ice cream with that.
Exactly. You don't want to, go down to the local car dealer and buy a car on credit based on the fact that you're going to win the prize money.
Yeah.
So who is your leader in deciding the nations for each map versus when you played versus EL? Did you decide the nations for all 7 maps in advance or just before each game?
TimeLess says Linckey is responsible for all nation pickings and Angelo is in charge of all communication with other teams. TNT and I are onlookers.
Okay, so Linckey's the mastermind. Was there anything specific Mouse said which caused the final outrage to be expelled from the PLA group?
Rome was not built in a day. His personality disorder gradually offended more and more players and eventually erupted like a volcano. As I said before, if it is a team game, as long as he loses, he will complain about his teammates, especially when his merchant gets killed over there in teammates' territory. He will definitely quit the game right away and start to humiliate and blame his teammate in QQ group chat. If it's a one-on-one, and as long as he loses, he will personally attack his opponent because he got no one to blame in 1v1 but himself. Chinese players are generally polite, tolerant, and magnanimous. Especially, we have several players with particularly good tempers, and I haven't seen them lose their temper since I played the game. But the only one time I see them lose their temper is because of Mouse. It must be very talented of him to get those well-mannered players pissed off.
And when we interviewed Mouse, he said he left PLA because everyone in PLA plays on China's local area network instead of Steam. And I had too many quarrels with Linckey and Woojin. I have
He keeps calling TimeLess Woojin, so we gotta fix that soon.
Yeah, this is what Mouse said. So he said, I have a very good relationship with Angelo. Do you have any response to this?
Don't listen to this crap. He had too many quarrels, not just only with Linckey, Woojin, Angelo, and TNT, but also even more quarrels with other Chinese players who you don't know their names. Angelo had a bunch of quarrels with him for many years, and they just had a quarrel no more than a week. This is another example where Mouse is conducting personal attacks on other players and humiliating them. Here's the story. Angelo's Surface laptop got battery issues lately and still within the warranty. So he sent his laptop to repair last week. That is also why he can't play the tournament. Then Mouse mocked at him that he's so poor and don't even have money to buy another laptop. If he were Angelo, he will just dump that laptop and buy a new one. And Angelo replied that even he went to buy a new one, it still took time. Mouse said, I have three laptops. I can't believe you only have just one laptop. It looks like it's no use if you graduate from Tsinghua University, the number one in China. I believe Angelo won't talk to him anymore. Actually, nobody would like to talk to him. We only talk to his teammates to negotiate the tournament time. Angelo has deleted his QQ contact from his friend list. I'm not sure if he deleted Mouse from his team friend list too.
Wow, it's serious if he deleted him from Steam friends as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely no love lost so far. So, do you think Mouse will ever become friendly again with PLA? What would it require for him to be forgiven by the players in the Chinese scene?
Like I said in the previous question, most Chinese players are generally polite, tolerant, and magnanimous. We're soft-hearted and easy forgiving and forgetting. If he can thoroughly repent his misdeeds, we can turn over a new leaf. But I'm afraid that Leopard cannot change his spots because we gave him only one chance, but two chances before, and each time he was in behave no longer than 2 weeks, then reveal his true colors.
Wow, and so Timeless, thank you for your detailed answers. We appreciate your honesty and hope to see some good games in the finals.
You're welcome. I hereby certify that the above statements are true and correct to the best of my knowledge. I hope you can bring all the question and answers to the public without bias and omission. So, guys, this is an interview, and even if there is some slander for players, because it's the first time we have these players coming online, so we are letting them speak their mind. But just making sure before we hear Mouse's part. We're just letting people speak in this one, and we're a very small community, and we all know each other. It's almost like we all live together in this virtual world. I don't think any other game apart from Rise of Nations has a community where everybody knows each other. Yeah. So it's all good. Just take this with a pinch of salt. Just have fun in the end. Don't take anything seriously.
Before we go, do you strongly believe in the words and teachings of Karl Marx?
I'm a fan of Karl Marx. Yes.
Yeah. Who do you think is better, Karl Marx, Milton Keynes, or Adam Smith?
Adam Smith.
Yeah. You like Adam Smith more than Karl Marx?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because some thoughts of Karl Marx cannot achieve in the real life.
Right. So you think Karl Marx, very good strategy, poor execution.
Yes.
Okay. Right. And do you are very active on the politics on Discord.
Yes.
Do you believe that Donald Trump is a good president or not, and why?
I think he is a very bad president. He is out of this generation.
Right. What about Donald Trump or Barack Obama?
I think Donald Trump is best. It's better.
Wow. Okay. So Donald Trump, you don't think he's good, but you still think he's better than Barack Obama?
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna have to cut it off there. Unfortunately, Mouse has lost his connection due to his VPN, but he did just want to say thank you to all of the fans out there supporting Tough, and he will fight hard to bring home the victory for all the supporters. And Mouse also wanted to say hey guys, I just have to quickly cut that off. That was pre-recorded, but Mouse was just saying, he apologizes for his supposedly poor English, but I did say his English is way, way better than my Chinese. And it was really brave of Mouse to come on and give us his thoughts. We really appreciate. He's the first Chinese player, based in China to come on for an interview. So thank you so much, Mouse. And you can obviously see that the relationship with TimeLess is strained a bit. What's your quick take on that, Jatin?
Yeah, I'm. Although I hope that it's not a grudge that they will keep for a long time. Hopefully, after the final is gone, they'll just shake hands and go normal, back to their time. The only reason we asked Mouse for his political views is he's very active on Discord, global politics.
Yeah, he does say a lot. He shares his opinions on the world there very often. Even though it's on that slow mode, you're not able to type fast, but he's always filling up paragraph after paragraph. So interesting to get his take. And we'll have to do a separate podcast sometime. Just get politics with Mouse. I think that would be
that'll be nice. A new show that will come out of Rise of Patience.
And guys, before we got to go, we have to wrap this up very soon because Jatin's got to run. But we wanted to quickly at the bookend of this video show you guys some stats. Just quite interesting for any stats lovers out there from the two semi-final series so far. So we've got our secret Nomadium 2 data entry guys to do up this spreadsheet for us, our interns, and they've done a great job. By interns, I mean
who are the interns?
It was actually just me because our budget, we can't afford any interns.
Yeah, we can't afford much.
So we've entered all this data, and it's not 100% accurate because it was done fairly quick, but for the most part, it's accurate. And just wanted to share some insights here. So this is just a summary of the EL versus PLA semi-final here. And as we look through these statistics here, let's just talk through it. So the win ratio is how many games they won that they participated in. So Irish have Dutch 50%, Coin with a 0%, but he only played one game, so it's a bit harsh. Obviously, the statistics are what they are. This second stat though is the main one. This is the overall kill-death ratio on aggregate over 6 games here, and it's quite interesting and quite fascinating to look at this one because you can see that Dave had 119% over all 6 games, and that's on average too. So that's he had some games where it was much higher than that, and some games where it was lower. And then meanwhile, you've got, unfortunately, this is not to call anyone out, but statistics are statistics, right? So Steez didn't have his great games, I think by his own admission there. KD ratio of 65%, which, you look at these stats and you think, okay, TimeLess also had a less than 100% kill death ratio, but it was up there. While Linckey was the favorite for PLA with the best kill death ratio. And then the resources, you can see that, Irish with Dutch, well, the statistics are a bit skewed, but he boomed super hard on Aussie Outback. He had the most res out of anyone there, while Coin played one game as Despot. He's only had 25%. Again, these are quite skewed. For the players that actually played all the matches, though, mostly the PLA guys, they were consistently up there with very similar economies. And then, what's your thoughts, Jatin? Any insights there that you think are quite interesting as well? The ruin difference I find is quite fascinating as well.
Ruin difference just shows that overall, TimeLess has a very good TimeLess. Boo and Dave have a very good run with the ruins. Normally, they've got more than average ruins. Yeah,
and Steez had negative. He had less than 50 on average in his 2 games, which might help partially explain why he had some poor games there, I guess, because of that early game. And also just to clarify too, I believe it was TimeLess and who was the other player? I think it was Boo, played as Lakota from memory. So Lakota obviously has more ruins that can skew the stats a little bit, but I think the key ratios though are the kill death and the resource ones. So if you see plenty of green there, that means you're having some good games. It looks like Dave can lead with his head held high. And the hotkey percentage there is Dave and TimeLess, well above the pack, and that's just compared to the average use.
And also look at maybe there is some relation between hotkey usage and the ruins you get.
There could be some. Is that correlation or causation? We'll see.
Well.
No, we'll see about that. No, I'm just proposing that as a hypothetical. I haven't really thought about it. And Boo's just clarifying, EL did not use Lakota, so I'm unjustly trashing Boo's reputation by saying that he used Lakota. That 16 average ruin difference was just pure Irish skill, baby. That was straight up.
That's just Boo and beer.
That's just Boo and beer. And quickly, Tough versus AZ. Let's have a quick squiz through it as well. Different story for Tough versus AZ. You can see that Tough were quite dominant. The biggest thing that stands out to me, just headlining, staring me in the face, is Mouse had a kill-death ratio over 6 games of 178%. And which is just insane. And resource percentage ratio of 108. That means on average, he was 8% higher than the average resource take every single game. Coldfire had 184%, even higher, although that was over only 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then Coldfire had the most resources of the pack as well. Basically it's showing that all the Tough players had really good resource percentages. Tiano only had the 1 game, and that was on Lake, so I feel like it's unfair to judge him too harshly on that.
Yeah. Look at this average ruin and hotkeys. Yeah, there is something. One day we'll have a association graph between hotkey users and ruins.
Yeah, actually, wow, you're right. There we go. That's the key. So make sure you practice your hotkeys, and that's actually a good segue, guys. I'm going to be doing a tutorial very soon, actually, on hotkeys. So make sure you check that out. And before we go, Jatin does have to run very shortly. But this is a final summary table which shows both those statistics we just showed aligned on top of each other to kind of preview this grand final PLA versus Tough. What do you think? Based on the statistics, who's going to win here? We don't know who's actually going to win, but...
So based on the statistics, it clearly looks like Tough has got players with a better KD, but then, yeah, of course, these are over different conditions, against different opponents. So not very much applicable. We're going to have a good table, the most accurate table right after the game finishes.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, the reality is PLA played against EL. I don't know. It's not proven, but you could argue that EL is a harder opponent, so therefore the KD ratio is probably harder as well. So yeah, these statistics are really fascinating. Good for a bit of pre-game banter, but at the end of the day, we have no idea what's going to happen. So. Do we have any update? I believe the grand final is scheduled for this weekend. Is that your understanding?
I am not sure. If any of the Tough players in the chat can tell us, that'll be great. I think the EL versus AZ is scheduled for this weekend.
Yeah, so we had a 1 weekend break while the players trained and basically went through their strategies. And then, I believe it's this weekend will be the grand final, guys. But that's yet to be confirmed. So if you're not sure, if there's one call of action I can ask you right now, can you please click subscribe if you haven't subscribed already? Because that's the easiest way to know when the grand final comes up. And we will confirm it with everyone as soon as we've got that time locked in. So,
800 subscribers very soon. Let's get them.
Yes, 800. And then once we get 800, the march to 1,000 won't take too long from there, hopefully. So
yeah, last Nomadium we had about 100. During the grand final, we had about 150 at best, and we've got a long way from there. So let's hit this 1,000. Actually, 100 for now, but yeah, 800 for now, but 1,000 soon.
Yeah. So guys, stay tuned. As I said before, I'm going to be releasing a tutorial series coming up very soon. It's going to be called Run with Cron. so I'm putting a fair bit of work into that before I go back to work next week. So keep that out. That's designed for kind of noob to intermediate Nomad players, going into great detail about everything in Nomad from the very beginning, from the moment you get into the game, select your villages, to getting to Gunpowder Age, basically. So keep an eye out, guys. But we do need to wrap this up here. If there's anything you want to add in the chat, quickly say it now. Otherwise, we do have to go. Yeah, I think, in fact, Tiano just said, when's EL playing AZ? I think that's, Saturday as well. So, but just play the grand final when you need to and just tell us, and we'll move everything else around that.
And with that gone, I'll have to leave now.
Yeah, we better go.
This is nice. Let's cast the final 2 games, the third place and the grand final this weekend.
Yeah, definitely, man. Look forward to it, guys. Thanks to everyone tuning in. We're going to wrap the stream up now. Thanks, guys. Take care, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See you guys. Bye-bye.